So I have some questions for you. Do you believe that you have accepted feeling bad for the rest of your life as your, we don't want to use the word punishment, as your probability? Do you just believe that it is your lot in life, given everything that's happened, to just feel bad for the rest of your life? Do you believe that? Because a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking.
I really don't. It's more along the lines of, it feels like every time I get to that place, another tragedy happens. This is like the third, fourth suicide, drug-related death in my best friend. It feels like the world won't stop happening. Tragedy won't stop outside of me.
Does anybody have the statistics? Do you know how many people have died since we started talking? It's our fault, not yours. No. We just want you to understand that what you're calling death is a logical part of life. You didn't intend to come into these bodies and focus here always. And so we want to find a way that we can soothe the word tragedy and begin calling it logical reality. Begin calling it the response that different people are having to life. Begin calling it just sort of what's going on, to stand back from it. When Esther began visiting with us, it was hard for her at first to listen to or get her thoughts around our cavalier attitude about what you call physical death. But over time, we were able to help her to understand that the reason that we are light about it is because nobody ever dies.
Right.
The reason that we are light about it is because we are consciousness in full availability to all other consciousness. That when someone, no matter who it is, whether it's your beloved animal or whether it's your beloved mother or whether it's your beloved lover, it doesn't matter who it is. Anytime someone makes their transition, they are still consciousness, and now they are pure positive energy consciousness focused on you every single time. Those who remain in physical form after someone has made their transition are fully aware of you, loving you fully with no conditions attached. And so if you start tuning into that, you'll stop calling it tragedies. You'll say, oh, got another lift today, someone else died. Someone who I never had positive access to before because they were disconnected from that source, but now they're reveling in this pure positive energy. The other day, Esther was visiting with an electrician in her house, and he was up on a ladder installing this beautiful new Art Deco lamp that she had found, and she was excited about it, and he was too. And they were talking about different things. And he mentioned that his wife was about to go into labor any day. And he said that there were 3 names that they were considering. And when he said the name Jonah, Esther got goosebumps all over her. And she said to him, none of my business. Not knowing what his religion is and probably thinking that he might not take to what she's doing. In other words, she's sort of possessed here. So she was gentle, but she said, I just got to say, I think this baby wants to be named Jonah because I can feel it all over. And he said, oh, I'm getting it too. I'm getting it too. So what we want you to understand is that if someone coming in is aware of you and what you're talking about, especially as it pertains to them, someone who's just moved on out is aware too. See what we're getting at? There is no separation. Now it's an unconditioned. Now it's a vortexual relationship. Now it's a vibrational relationship. Now it's an emotional relationship. So there's nothing tragic about someone defocusing here and putting their attention somewhere else. Source is never calling you into something that is wrong. And you just got to know that sometimes that is the path of least resistance, which means it's the path of most allowance. Death doesn't mean something went wrong. Death means something is going very, very right, because your eternal consciousnesses focused here in this time-space reality. So imagine a world, or even a small cluster, or even 5 of you in a corner somewhere, in alignment with who you are, tuned in, tapped in, turned on. You've been laughing, you've been scratching, you've been having a good time, you've been feeling in love with life and with each other, and using each other as a point of rendezvous. Imagine being in alignment and then allowing the source within you to help you rendezvous here and here and here and here and here. Not one of you ever said to any other of you prior to coming into this experience, you will be my only rendezvous. Every one of you knew that your dominant intention for rendezvous was with the source within you, and that once that alignment is consistently in place, that you will be inspired to behavior. You have not been off your track. You have not done anything wrong. Nothing has gone wrong. You are living life. Tragedies aren't happening. Things are happening. It's all in the way that you are choosing to look at it, you see. If you all are watching CNN or some of those news broadcasts where it is their sole intent to go around the world looking for trouble and then finding it, exaggerating it, tilting it, and putting dramatic music behind it, and then bringing it right into your living rooms, then you are inordinately aware of tragic and trauma around the world. And we know when it comes up close to you, sometimes it worries you, especially when you are with someone like us who is always saying you create your own reality. But if you create your own reality, then everybody else does too. And so you can't be the one that created their reality just because you know them. They created their own reality and you knew them. They created their own reality and you knew them. And you were not charged with the assignment of making it different for not one of them. You did come forth intending to tune into source so that through the power of your example, you could inspire others to want to find somehow that happy experience that you are finding. But you can't get sick enough to help sick get well, and you can't get poor enough to help poor become prosperous, and you cannot solve the problems of the world by focusing upon them. Just live your own life and let the source within you revel through you, and let the goosebumps indicate to you your alignment with source, and practice it enough that you're steady there, and then watch the inordinate number of good things that come your way, and leave everyone to create their own reality, and don't take credit or responsibility for anything that's happening to anyone else. And before you know it, you'll be clustering like you all are here with others who are somewhat like-minded, who are uplifters in nature, who are deliberately creating your own reality, who are finding your vibration on purpose, who are practicing yourself into the art of alignment and living happily ever after, but not stopping death, not preventing it in others, not interfering with anything else that anybody is doing, living your life the way you've intended to, and finding unconditional alignment with source. So, we think it is really a wonderful gift when someone comes into your experience by your attraction, yes, who doesn't jump through hoops in order to present to you a conditional presentation that you can then have a good feeling response to. We think it's a wonderful thing when things happen around you that you have to adjust to, because otherwise you've got to have a very narrow band of merry friends that you are running around with, and then you got to control them because they're all freaks, you know. Helpful?
Yes.
Good.
Thank you so much.